Hey there, young man of God. God bless you. Greet you in the name of Jesus. I am sorry that I'm unable to be there this evening. I obviously say that I'm in my car. I'm kind of going between jobs and going between work and stuff. So I did just want to reach out to each of you, let you guys know I love you. I'm thinking about you. If my eyes wander, it's because like a car's coming close to hit my car. So I just don't want you to think like I have ADD or something like that, all right? Um, Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I do tend to lose focus very easily, especially when I'm making a video in a car. I don't really make videos that often, but I do want to tell you guys that I love you. I'm thinking of you, and each one of you have tons of talents and gifts and giftings on your life and calls on your life that you may not even know yet. Brother Romaine and Brother Tyrone and Brother Clark, they really spearheaded the event that's going on tonight for you guys. And really the ultimate goal is to help let you guys see that there are options for you when you do graduate high school as you get older. School, contrary to what most people believe or what society teaches, school is not the end-all be-all. There's a number of highly successful people that never went to college. Some didn't even graduate high school. So just because you don't follow those paths, it doesn't mean that you're like not going to be successful in your life or something like that. Because there are options. There was a quote that somebody that I'm going to steal from somebody, and it was somebody that was a mentor for me early on in my life, and he told me that if you can swing a hammer, you'll never have to worry about putting food on your table. Now, I think that's insanely true, because that's a skill that, regardless of what's going on in the economy or what jobs are available or what jobs are paying well, if you can swing a hammer, if you can build something, if you can sell something, there will always be an opportunity for you financially to have success and to leave a good legacy. So what I'm going to talk about today, I'm going to talk a little bit about my experience as a business person. Obviously, you guys know my name. I'm Brother Tim. I've known most of you since you were a little bit younger. I've been with Faith Apostolic for the past 5 years. And I have been in business for myself for, I'd say, about the last 7. It was towards the end of 2012. I really started to devise a plan to open up my own financial practice. And as the years have gone on, it's evolved and it's changed, and I've hit really, really high highs, and I've also experienced extremely low lows. Being a business owner is not easy. That's the first thing that I will tell you, and I think that any other brother in the church that owns their own business, they would be happy to share the same advice. You will face adversity. You will face hardship. But what I'd like to impart on you tonight is just a few little tidbits, a few little nuggets of knowledge that maybe will help you as you grow up. If you decide to go into business, that you can transition a little bit more successfully than I did. So a little bit about my testimony. So about 7 years ago, I left the retail world. I was a store manager with Lowe's. I actually was one of the store managers with Brian, Brother Brian. Him and I were store managers in charge of the Middletown store, and we assisted the main store manager and the district manager. It was a really great experience for me. I went to school after I got out of high school. I don't want to say I barely graduated, but I kind of barely graduated. I didn't really think school was that important, because my dad never graduated high school, and he was a successful businessman himself. So I not that I don't think education's important, but I kind of feel like it's not the end-all be-all. So with that being said, I ended up going to SUNY Ulster. I got an associate's degree in literature. And while I was at Lowe's, they sent me back to school to actually take business management and finance courses. While I was taking those courses, I found a love for finance. I found a love for insurance products, and basically anything that has to do with financial planning. I really love. I just fell in love with it. And I also had an experience watching my parents as I was growing up. They, sorry, that was my phone. Unfortunately, they had a financial advisor that did not have their best interests at heart and made a lot of bad moves with their money. And that helped me to want to be that guy that people could trust, that people could feel comfortable investing their money with, that people could feel comfortable learning about the different products and services that are available to them in the financial services industry. So that, to this day, that drives me. Knowing what happened to my parents and knowing how there was really no plan for their finances, I really just dove headfirst into the financial services, and I went in as an independent contractor with a small firm. I graduated to a bigger firm, and I took on a corporate management role. And after about 5 years in the business, I was working for myself, but I was a 1099. So what that means is I was given paychecks that had no taxes taken out, and I basically had to manage the cash flow for my independent, my sole proprietorship, which was Timothy Colson Insurance Services. So after about 5 years, I broke off of that big company, and I went out on my own. I had about 5 years experience doing it, so I didn't think it was going to be that rough. I thought it would just be the same as it always was. But I will say that I can't say that I put God first in all of it. And it's not that I didn't put God first, because I want to be clear about this. I've always loved God, and I've always sought His will for my life. But the first nugget of knowledge that I want to pass on to you guys is anything that has to do with business or your career or anything that you choose to do, school, make sure that it is the will of God for your life. Make sure that you're listening to God. Make sure that you're praying to God for direction. Make sure that you're praying to God to impart wisdom to you, and to impart the direction that He wants you to go in. Because I prayed really hard before I went out on my own, and all the signs lined up that it was the will of God. It seemed like it was the right time, the right fit. However, when I broke off on my own, I had to make decisions. So I ended up taking on 2 partners, and I can't say that I brought those partners to God. To me, I just looked at surface level, and it seemed, because the initial move where I went out on my own was the will of God, I started doing things in my own power. I started aligning myself with people that it just wasn't a good fit. They didn't have the same vision, the same work ethic. They didn't have the same goals or motivations that I had, and it didn't work out. So that was the first stone that hit my ship and caused it to start to sink. The other thing is when I was looking for a broker dealer to partner with to process my investment business through, I kind of just did things that I knew from my years in the industry and the companies I knew, and I trusted a friend, and I didn't bring it to God. And it was honestly the biggest mistake that I could have made, because it eventually sunk my practice there. So for a little bit, but there is hope, because I had to take some time away from it. The business was not prospering, and I attribute that to the fact that I didn't bring everything to God, which I should have. And looking back on it, in some of the hardest lessons, in some of the hardest situations, you learn the greatest lessons. And that was definitely a hard situation. I felt like a failure. I felt like I didn't know anything. I was down on myself. But we know that's not true. We know that God views each one of us as His creation, is perfect in His sight. He loves us. He wants us to prosper, and the only thing that He asks is that we abide by His will for our life. So flash forward, I ended up seeking God's will, and He led me immediately. As I started seeking His will, he started aligning me with certain people and certain situations that would be really beneficial to reopening my practice and forming the Tri-State Legacy Group, which is my insurance brokerage. I have to say that it feels right this time around. I feel like I'm aligned with the right people, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that I brought it to God. I asked for His will, and like there was a few situations that came up where people wanted to partner with me, and it just didn't seem like His will. I brought it to Him. I didn't feel right about it. I didn't feel peace, and I decided not to follow through with it. So, all in all, from that story, the main thing that I want to impart on you is that make sure that you're following God's will and that you're bringing every situation to God when it comes to business. So that way you can get clarity and you get good direction from God. Because if you're walking in the same direction that God wants you to walk in, then you're going to see success, and things won't be perfect, but they won't be unmanageable. So that was the first thing. As a business owner, make sure that you're always putting your decisions before God, and make sure that you're always putting God first in the business. I want to talk a little bit about the financial stuff. I know Brother Tyrone, Brother Clark, Brother Romaine, they're going to talk about other stuff, and I don't want to steal anyone's thunder, and I certainly don't want you guys to have to watch like a 30-minute video, because we're at 11 minutes now. What I will say about what I think is important to focus on is managing the finances of your business. I'm a registered financial advisor. I think it's really important as a business owner that you have a lockdown mindset when it comes to your finances and understanding where every dollar is going. So whether that dollar that you make from a client is spent on marketing, or it's spent on staff, or it's spent on licensing, or it's spent on new materials, whatever it is, make sure that each and everything is trackable. So that way you know what's working and what's not working. Because it's great to be a business owner, but the ultimate goal is that you want to build a sustainable business that has a legacy attached to it that you can either leave to your children or that has a good name in the community. And you don't want to always just be you running the business, because in the beginning as a business owner, you're doing everything. You're marketing the product, you're getting all the administrative stuff done, you're the accountant, you're the janitor, like you're doing everything. Whatever it is that has to be done for your business, you're the person that's doing it. And it's very overwhelming and very challenging. So you want to make sure that as you're making money, as you're earning, that you're making smart decisions with it. That you're investing your money into things that are going to bring about a return to your business. So when it comes to hiring staff, making sure that those dollars are allocated properly, making sure that they're being allocated to people that share the same vision as you, that share the same passion as you, making sure that you're being smart and that you're scheduling that person for the hours of your operation that are going to be the most profitable for you. So whether they're making phone calls and setting appointments, following up with clients, doing book work, whatever it is, making sure that they're on during a hot period of time and they're not on during a slow period of time, because that would be an improper use of money. Maybe it's marketing, making sure that you're utilizing your marketing dollars to their fullest. So maybe it's a Facebook ad, maybe it's an ad in the paper, maybe you're hiring a telemarketer, maybe you're buying a membership to the local chamber of commerce or a local networking group. Maybe you're buying leads, depending on the type of business that you have. Really what you want to do with the marketing dollars is making sure that each one of them is being spent on something that's going to bring about a return to your business. So for instance, for me, a lot of my marketing can be done through either buying leads or hiring a telemarketer. That may not be the case for Brother Tyrone. With his business, it may make more sense for him to take out an ad in the local paper. It may make more sense for him to join the local chamber of commerce, so that way he can meet local bank owners or local bank managers to make relationships with the banks that ultimately will be giving him the properties to service. You have to look at what you're doing for your business, and making sure that the marketing dollars are they make sense, basically. Paying yourself, payroll is a big thing. So initially, as a business owner, you get some money and you think, great, I got all this money, now what do I do with it? So you have to skim off some of it to pay for overhead. You have to pay for tithe. Make sure that you're always tithing. Make sure that you're always giving back to the community, to God's people, because God will bless you if you honor Him with your first fruits. That I cannot say that enough. If you own a business and you're making money, make sure that you're being responsible and you're honoring God with the money that you're making, whether it be giving back to His people or giving to Him or giving to the church. Make sure that you're honoring your commitment as a child of God to tithe and provide offering. I have never in my existence have not seen a blessing come after I've tithed, after I've given my first fruits. Conversely, I've seen what happens early on in my walk when I didn't tithe, and I've seen how much that can affect me negatively and affect my business negatively. It is a real thing. I'm not saying it to scare you, but biblically, we have to tithe as being a responsible businessman, being a responsible child of God. Making sure that you honor God with your first fruits is very important. That comes from payroll. Those commitments, they are tax deductible, so it's something that you work with an accountant about. So basically what that does, it reduces your income level for the year. The other thing is making sure that you're paying yourself and your staff fairly, making sure that you're paying yourself enough to cover your bills. But don't give yourself all of it. You want to make sure that you put some money aside in a business account, so that way you do have marketing dollars, you do have dollars to pay the rent for your space, that you have money to pay for the electric at your space, that you have money for the company vehicles to gas them up. There has to be a balance. So in the beginning of your business ownership, you're going to be spending a lot of your time marketing. Studies show around 70% of your time marketing, and marketing, I'll get into that in a second. And you're also going to be spending a lot of time taking small paychecks and putting your money back into the business. That is a reality. Just because you have the title of business owner doesn't mean that you're going to get rich overnight. You really have to hustle and work to make the money that you need to make. And then over time, as your business bank account grows, you will be able to give yourself a bigger paycheck, and you will see the fruits of your labor come to pass. There's about 3 more minutes left, so I want to just cover marketing really quick. Marketing is the most important thing that you can do. At the end of the day, the only thing that matters is how many people you tell about your business. That's the only thing. You could have the best idea, the best product, the best service in the world, but if you're only telling your spouse, you're telling your children, you're telling yourself, or you're just sitting in your house and nobody knows about it, then it doesn't matter, because you're not going to make any money off of it. So if you're a skilled tradesperson, then my suggestion to you is go talk to as many people as you can, tell them what you do. Say, hey, listen, I love to install flooring. I love to clean houses. I love to show people different ways to enhance their income portfolio. Whatever it is that you do, make sure that you have a really, really tight elevator speech. An elevator speech is a 30-second marketing tool that you create. Mine, for instance, for my business. Hi, my name is Tim Colson, and I help people ease their concerns about money. Someone may ask me, oh, what do you mean you help people ease their concerns about money? I'd be like, I'd love to go deeper into what it is that I do with you at this current moment, but I have to get to a meeting. So what I'd like to do is, if I can get your name and information, I'll follow up with you. We can get coffee, and I'd love to introduce you to the process that I put my prospective clients through, to see if there's any opportunities for me to help them ease their concerns about money. And then at that point, you exchange information, and boom, then you get a meeting, and then that's when you really go to show your stuff. It may be a little different for the tradesperson. They may have to go bid, put their name in a hat and try to get a job. But overall, you just have to tell as many people as you possibly can about what you do to market yourself. At the end of the day, that's what matters. Whether you're reaching them by the phone, face-to-face, through network marketing, through social media, through an ad campaign in a local newspaper, whatever it is. Tell as many people as you can about your business. Those will be the best use of the dollars that you earn as a business person, especially in the beginning. Because what you want to do is, over time, you want that initial number of 70% of your time being monopolized by marketing. You want that to go down over time to where you're spending less time marketing and you have either a staff doing it for you or you have marketing dollars doing it for you, and you want to be spending 70% of your time out in the field helping your customers, or building your brand, or enhancing your vision, whatever it is, growing the name of your business. Ultimately, finances are really, really important. I want to wrap this up because it's getting over 20 minutes, and I'm hoping you guys are still awake. But the financial aspect of it is really important. Entrepreneurship is an amazing opportunity. Not only will it give you opportunities to build a legacy for yourself and for your family, it will give you back a lot of your time if you put a lot of time in the beginning. And it will also give you a lot of time to give back to God. It will give you a freedom to focus on God and focus on building His kingdom that you will not get working for somebody else. I truly believe that. I have worked for other people, and there's nothing against it. You know, if that's something that you do and you have a skill and you're in demand and someone's saying, yeah, we want you to work for us, they're willing and you're okay with it, it's a great opportunity. But being a business owner, it really sets you apart, and it will give you time freedom that you could never dream of if you work really hard. All right. I love you guys, and I hope that you're doing well. I hope that you get something very good out of this tonight. I hope this video was a blessing to you. I hope I didn't gab too much. If there's any questions that any of you have, or if you ever want to come take a ride with me, or like follow me around one day, and to see what I kind of do on a day in and day out basis, I would be more than happy to invite any one of you to come by, and I'll even pick you up, and we'll throw a shirt and tie on you, and we'll go out and we'll do some prospecting. I'll teach you how I run my business. I'll teach you how to talk to people, how to close a deal, whatever it is that you want to learn. I'd be happy to have any one of you. You just let me know, all right? My number is 845-235-6371. I love you guys, and God's going to do great things for you, all right? God bless you.